today I am with my favorite English teacher,
Claire Lawrence,
and she teaches
creative writing at Bloomsburg University.
Okay, so first question: how often do you use social media?
I use social media pretty often. Like while I'm sitting at my desk, I don't know, I check it maybe 20 times, maybe a little more than that a day. So I know I do use it quite a bit.
What platform do you use the most, and what for?
I mostly use Facebook, although I use Instagram probably close to the same. I use it to keep in touch with people. Mostly on Facebook, I use Messenger because I have like a couple of like message groups of friends, and we kind of keep in touch like the whole day. I've honestly gotten to the point where the feed is like really annoying, and so I don't look at the feed very often. And it's mostly just the messenger that I'm using it, but I'm using that pretty often.
Do you use it for like connecting, or do you use it more with your like workshops?
I don't use it for workshops at all. But I do use it for connecting with people. And one of my favorite things, like I've thought about deleting Facebook, but one of my favorite things is actually staying friends with students. So I'm friends with some of my students from like 25 years ago, and they all have kids, and their kids might be almost going to college. And it's just like, it's really wonderful to stay in touch with former students. That's the reason that I do it, because I love to see their lives just unfold and all the successes they have.
Third question: do you believe social media is benefiting the world or destroying it, and why?
That is like a really complicated question. I think there are a lot of benefits, like staying connected with people across geographies, like connecting people like politically and starting revolutions, like the Prague Spring and things like that. So like really good ideas can get spread across social media, but the other side of it is really bad ideas can get spread across social media, and unfortunately people don't like check their sources very much. They don't, like
False information.
yeah, and stuff like that. And so that's where I'm really uncomfortable with it. And that's, I think it's as an educator, I really want to teach people to check their, to do their research, to check and see, is this a true thing that you're passing along and stuff like that. I also, the thing I don't love about social media is sometimes it can become an echo chamber where like people who are the same are just sort of repeating back ideas and making each other angrier and angrier. And that sometimes makes it difficult for people to get along.
Do you believe that you fully understand the social media world at your age, or are there some things you still don't understand about it?
I think I understand the platforms I use.
Okay.
But I don't think I understand TikTok. I don't think, and I guess understand is like such a strange thing. Some of the things I don't understand the attraction of, like why do you want to spend so much time doing that? Like, I think TikTok is funny. I watch TikToks, but I couldn't watch them for 7 hours. I'd just be like, and the other thing that I don't understand is the way that social media has kind of replaced reading. And that for me as an English professor is a little bit of a like, but it's just not even with your generation, but with kids younger. They're all used to this like, stimulation, like constant bright lights and colors and stuff like that. Something as slow as a book becomes really difficult. But I raised my kids without technology, not completely without it, but like limited. So they didn't have their own computers, they didn't have their own TVs or anything like that. We had a big family computer, and they could have time playing on the family computer and stuff. And they did like Webkins and all those kinds of things when they were little. But they didn't have their own phones, they didn't have iPads, they didn't, sort of constantly get that stimulation, just because I don't think it's good for people as their brains are developing. Now they have everything, like they're 15 and 21, so they totally, like, they're absolutely fine, as far as that goes. But my daughter, who is 21 the other day, actually said, thank you for raising me without all of that this technology, because I think there's some stuff about it that bothers other people that doesn't really bother me.
So last question, what is one positive thing about the social media world?
There are two that are actually so I'm going to give you two of them. The one thing is, I know for a lot of people, body positivity
Yeah.
has not happened because everybody on the internet is, posing their bodies in these perfect lights and things like that. But there's been this other counter movement, which is body positivity. And I've loved that.
Yeah.
I think that that's like really influenced me, and it's influenced the way that I look at other women, and that's been like a huge change for me. The other thing is racial politics.
Yeah.
I think that, being Facebook friends with a lot of BIPOC people and hearing their voices, sort of directly has changed me, has really, made me like a better human being. So I think those are two big positives. For me, I learned a lot about politics from Twitter. I'm not on Twitter anymore, but I
Twitter helps you a
did
lot.
I did sort of listen to Black Twitter for
Yes.
like a very long time, and just listened because that's sort of my role, and it really taught me a tremendous amount. So.